Hey team, welcome back to part 3 of our Ultimate Jab series. We'll be looking at flick jabs, up jabs, slip jabs and more. So let's crack on. Hey team, welcome back to the Sweet Science part 3 then, some more specialised types of jabs. We're going to look at the up jab first, sometimes referred to as the teacup jab. You hold a teacup like so, and that's how, you wouldn't hold it, that would just fall out. Hold it with your thumb up, that's how this one is done. Works great, orthodox to be orthodox. I must admit, as a southpaw facing an orthodox, I've never really had much success with it because I tend to be in my lane 3 and that just doesn't work for it very well. But orthodox to be orthodox, it works great. So, the up jab, usually done off of a slip. It doesn't have to be an incoming shot, but I want to get my head offline and then it fires straight up from this direction. If I come a little bit closer to the camera, straight up. It's great for going through the guard. Okay, someone's got a good guard, it's because your hand is upright. It is narrower than that. It's great for going through the guard, and it has an uncanny ability to catch people off. And they tend, up jabs come this. I have no explanation for why this happens. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does catch people. So people have a good high guard in, has a tendency to get them to pull their head out of the guard. Not every time. If it doesn't happen when you try it, don't blame me, okay? But it does happen. People get caught by it, they see the head move, the next thing they pull their head out of their hands just to try and, as a reaction to the shot. So mechanically, from an orthodox point of view, obviously a good stance, hands up, chin down, elbows tight, bit of weight on the back foot. Okay, it's done by taking your head offline like you're slipping to the inside, and then you're firing straight up. You must pull this shoulder. Okay, if you're here and you go, that's obviously not mechanically correct. Okay, I bring my right shoulder as an orthodox forwards and I pull that back and fire the shot thumb up. Now there's a tendency, watch for the common mistake, there's a tendency on this to really pull yourself open. Yeah, make sure you're not. The other tendency is to keep the hand on your chin and flare the elbow a lot. Make sure you're not doing that. It's just boom, here. Okay, so the weight is on my back foot. It transfers to the front as I'm semi-corkscrewing my body. Pull the shoulder back, boom, and the hand is thumb up. Okay, so you want to be giving yourself a thumb up on this shot. Let's just have a little look at it on a bag. So, a nice little practice drill is a good box standard jab, followed by an up jab from here. It works very, very well. Sparring works well, as well, can catch people. It's just a way to practice it. So, we're not talking about footwork to begin with. I'll be in range. Okay, so check your range first. Yes, I'm in range. I don't have to now step in or anything like that. So, I'm from here. So, yeah, all I've done is gone jab, slip off to the side, and punch my thumb upwards from there. By the way, if you've missed the basics and with the double jab, they'll be in the link in the description below. Make sure you watch part 1 and part 2 of this 6-part series. So, jab, up jab, jab. Just working. Yeah, 3 jabs. Yeah, nice and controlled, a little bit slower. Jab 1. Jab 2. Thumb is up. Jab 3. There's a bit to work on there. It's all in the body. Jab 1. Jab 2, and it kind of comes back and fires jab 3. 1, 2, 3. If you just do this, nothing's happening. It's all turn, load, turn, turn. If I put my arms across my body, jab, jab, jab. So a nice little sneaky jab can often catch your opponent out. Let's have a look at the next one. So next, the flick jab. Commonly used from a half guard, i.e. here. Alright, so we have to have fancy names nowadays for everything. So people might like to call it the Philly shell. It's a half, this is a full guard, this is a half guard. For instance, if you're doing a half guard, make sure this elbow is protruding slightly. Yeah, that's what's protecting your vital organs from this. So, if you have a sibling, brother or sister, or a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, at some point you have probably got hold of a tea towel, spun it up a little tiny bit, and whipped them with it, because it's funny for us, not the person getting whipped. Okay, it's actually the same motion. That's what's called a flick. Okay, it's from here, and I literally, it's like I'm got the tea towel, flick. Yeah, comes up. It's the same motion. I'm leading with the elbow and flicking, and it's coming up towards the chin. From here can often catch people out. You can do it from a full guard, but you have to drop first. Yeah, easier done from a half guard position, flick from there. It's not powerful, does help to, because it catches people out, it helps to set up a backhand flick, step in from here. A lot of the old greats used to use it. And another version of the flick jab is from here. It is when we flare the elbow. Now I said in part one it's a common mistake of a jab, but I also said it's not a mistake if you know you're doing it. If you're doing it deliberately, it's okay. Why would I use that? So I'm just flicking my jab out. Not every punch is designed to land hard. Maybe you're setting something up. Maybe you're just blocking lanes. I do a lot setting up laybacks. Imagine I'm boxing you, we're both orthodox, and I'm constantly pouring at your left hand from here. I'm blocking your left hand. You're going to throw your right. You're going to try and time my jab, and you're going to throw your right over the top of that. I know that. So I'm flicking, waiting for you to throw your shot as the shot comes in, stepping back and counter-attacking. I don't need to be jabbing with every ounce of power I've got at your hand. That's not the idea for it. You know, I can flick this. People hear me speak about Lomachenko a lot. I think he's great. I know southpaw. He uses a flick jab a lot. He moves around people just flicking his jab out here. Yeah, a lot of people do. It's not wrong if you know you're doing it and the reason behind it. So two versions of a flick jab. From a half guard, flick. Yeah, flick. From a full guard, drop it slightly, then flick, flick from there, and also just using your jab round. Bearing in mind, we're trying to make your jab your best weapon, so why not utilize it when you're working your bag, when you're sparring with someone, just flicking out. I know I'm flaring my elbow. I know it's not powerful. I also know it's blocking lanes, okay, and it's putting out defensive traffic as well. Let's look at the flick jab on the bag. So obviously it's better to work a bag like this or a maze bag for a flick jab, use something to target, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it on a straight bag, and I'll do a southpaw demonstration on that as well. So key points, we'll do it from a half guard. Remember this, ideally, this hand does not want to be here in a half guard, yeah? It wants to be here, yeah? I know that I'm going to pull that shoulder up as well, and that elbow is out. It's not this, okay? It's more defensively responsible here. So just work it, and all you've got to think of it is that relaxed flick of the towel. If you try and do this, I'll put this hand down, if you try and do this with like a stiff arm, it's going to go, yeah, that's not what we're after. Flick the towel, yeah? Yeah, you can work that on a straight bag. Look for a southpaw position. Yeah, I'm flicking the towel. I'm not trying to drive a punch into it, just here. There's a little bit of a relaxed hand there. Boom. Yeah, I'm flicking. So, let's put a jab, an up jab, and a flick jab. So from here, Nice little break in rhythm there where I change from being in a normal stance. Here, little change in rhythm. Yeah, work different variations, and of course we spoke about this. I'm literally just blocking traffic. Yeah. Working around, keeping hands engaged, same here. Yeah, it's not powerful, it's never going to be powerful. We spoke before, this is a hinge joint, it's only going to come round, but there's a reason why you should use it. Keeping hands engaged, defensive traffic from here. You know, you've got to work over that hand to get in towards. If I just stay here, you can come in. I'm just flicking, flicking, flicking. Normal jab, flicking, working round. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Okay, slip jabs, speciality jab. Really? So it is slipping off to the side, often known as splitting a jab. Your jab's coming down, my jab's going out the side. But if I keep my head in line as I do that, well, we're going to get hit. So I'm getting my head offline as I'm doing it. Couple of things that need to happen. If I keep my back hand on my chin and I slip off to the side, you can see I'm wide open. This hand comes out and protects the chin. Okay? From here. Another thing that you probably should do is over-rotate your hand. So your thumb ends up pointing down. That will lift my shoulder. And if you notice, if I need to lift my shoulder now to get my thumb to go all the way down to the ground. What happens to my head? Yeah? Automatically moves off to the side. Just watch for one common error. If you're trying this for the first time, you'll probably find that as you slip off to the side, you end up elevating the elbow and it becomes a flick. Now, still driven from elbow underneath from here. Hand up to the side. Southpaws, you can use this reasonably well against an orthodox as well. So obviously we are now train tracked. I use this quite a bit, if I'm honest with you, against orthodoxes. I'm obviously going to go to the inside of their jab, but immediately roll out underneath. Try, if you're a southpaw trying this as an orthodox, try not to just stay here because you're probably going to get popped afterwards, and immediately come out on the opposite side. Excuse me. Key points: don't flare the elbow. Drive it. Push from the leg to slip off, over-rotate the hand, and this hand needs to come and defend the front of the face from here. From here. So let's have a look how we can put this together on a bag. So obviously I can just work the slip jab. I can be here, making sure all of the little details are happening that we just spoke about. Okay. We can also put together some of the other things we've looked at in this video. So I'm going to do a normal jab, an up jab, a slip jab, come back to a half guard and start flicking. Okay, so from here, normal jab, up jab, slip jab, flick. And that'll look like this. Yeah. It's a nice little 4-punch combination using a jab, but it's not just jab, 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 jab. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different types of jab. Something else for you to work on. So that's part 3, team. Part 3 of our jab season. Already we can start to see there's a lot of work to do with the jab. We've looked at how to jab correctly, moving that jab around, doubling the jab, tripling the jab, circling that around. Now we're talking about some more specialist types of jabs. Yeah, flick jab, up jab, slip jab. Start working all those into your routines. Move it around, try different things. I love a flick jab. Yeah, for whichever way, if I'm going southpaw, if I'm orthodox, yeah, remember it's that towel. It's a nice relaxed shot, often catches people out. Give it a try, work it on your bag, put it into your shadow boxing. Let me know how you get on with it. Look forward to part 4 with some more specialist stuff coming up. Until then, train hard, train intelligently, train consistently, and I'll see you soon.